Hi there, my name is Tracy. This is the 3-Wick Thesis Candle channel. I'm joined today by my co-host, Red. This is one of my mom's cats. He's going to be hanging out with us until he finds one of these candles to be offensive. Today's episode is a lit review of Goose Creek's new collection. This one came out maybe a week or so ago. It came out on a Monday, a random Monday, and it has 4 candles in the collection. 3 of them are new fragrances. I'm not sure what the candle collection name is, but it's like a summer bakery vibe. There's a peach one, a lemon blueberry, a strawberry pie, and a Blondie candle. So I'm going to go ahead and get those unboxed. I love the color of this one, although I'm not sure it's really peachy. It's the one I grabbed first, Peaches and Cream. This is a really cute label. It's like a peach cake with peaches on the top. It looks like it's got maybe, is that basil leaves? Maybe mint leaves on it. And then this wax color is really pretty. It's not necessarily what I think of when I think of like a peach pie or peach cake. It almost looks more like a rhubarb color. I was expecting a little bit more orange or like apricot tone. And then gold lid. Scent notes on this one are Georgia peaches, sweet cream, and moist cake. And this is one of the new fragrances. This is yummy. I don't normally like peach, but I like the vibe of this one. Although I will say on cold, it smells a lot like peach rings. The one that also came out recently. I did a lit review on that one sometime earlier in the spring. I feel like you get this really, really juicy tart peach that feels almost like a peach gummy, or the way that a super ripe peach would smell if you had just baked it, but not like ooey gooey jammy baked, but like kind of just par baked. You warmed it up a little bit and it still has a lot of the fresh juiciness to it, but it also has some of the sugars broken down and is really sweet. I do get a sense of creaminess in this. I don't know that I would identify it as being like sweet cream, like a lactonic. It almost feels like body cream peach. It's not perfumey, but like it just doesn't have much of an element to it. It just smells creamy. And then I don't get a whole lot of cake on this one. It's mostly peach on cold. Wax on this is that kind of, I don't know, it's almost like a mauve color, like an apricot and rhubarb put together. And then the wicks on this is, they're thin, stiff, ropey wicks. And it's a see-through glass jar, not a wraparound label. That's the Peaches and Cream. Gotta dig through and find the ones that are not wilderness. Here is Strawberry Jam Pie. Cute little tart over here with strawberries on it. You've got some strawberry flowers down here. I really like the font on this label. And then the border, it must be like a bakery shop theme. It's got Goose Creek shop up here. Goose Creek Cake Shop. So this must be the cake shop collection. Really pretty, bright strawberry hue wax. Same lid and same wicks on this one. This is Florida strawberries. That's very specific. Flaky pie crust and sweet jam. Do y'all know what the difference is between, say, a California strawberry, a Michigan strawberry, and a Florida strawberry? Tell me in the comments if you know. I like it. It reads a bit artificial though to me. Not in a bad way, but it almost smells like you took like a strawberry gummy or like a strawberry taffy and put it in pie. The strawberry is a little bit bright. It's juicy, but it also feels kind of candy-esque. I will say the few times I've made strawberry jam, it has kind of smelled like this. It's almost like a muted, fresh strawberry note. Not as sweet as I was expecting. It's fresher than I thought it would be. And the pastry note that's in here is very subtle, similar to how subtle the cake is in the peach one. Yeah, on cold, this kind of just smells like, it smells like a tart. It smells like jammy strawberries with like a single crust as opposed to a traditional pie with the 2 different layers. I like it. Little on the fence about it. Okay, let's see. Where is the other two. This one is the one I was most excited about. This is Blueberry Lemon Bundt Cake. Love the picture. You've got this actually, yeah, it almost looks like a sponge cake, not a bundt cake, but you got a cake over here with some lemon glaze, fresh blueberries on the top, same font, same label, title here at the top, blueberry colored wax, which is a nice feature, same lid, and same wicks. This is Maine blueberries. Again, I'm not really sure. Yankee does this too. They have their regular blueberry scented and then they have Maine blueberry scented. I'm not sure what the difference is between Maine blueberries and other blueberries. If you know, put that in the comments below for us. Lemon drizzle and buttery cake. Oh, this is delicious. Yeah, okay. It's like you took Bath & Body Works iced lemon pound cake and added a hint of blueberry. And I say hint because I'm getting a lot more lemon, that lemon icing, or what they're calling lemon drizzle, than I am of the blueberry. I'm hoping the blueberry comes to life more on warm, because right now it's pretty subtle. Oh yeah, and the buttery cake note in this is delicious. It smells legit like you have a pound cake that you just sliced open and you just get this like buttery, moist cake fragrance. Much stronger than the one that's the peach scented. Yeah, this is gonna be stellar. We'll see. I would be shocked if I'm disappointed in that one on warm because it is absolutely gorgeous on cold. Very edible. And then I assume this is the last one because it's the only one here in the box with a gold lid, and I am correct. By the way, the strawberry jam pie and the blueberry lemon bundt cake, both of those are new fragrances. This is the only returning fragrance in the collection, and that is the caramel drizzled blondie, and the lid popped off. I can smell this already. This one is a strong one, y'all. It's caramel drizzled blondie with caramel drizzle Vermont maple. Again, I'm curious, what is the difference between Vermont maple syrup and other maple syrups? And warm blondie. Yeah, this is going to be a beast. I can tell just by smelling it on cold. You get a very strong caramel note. It is like a burnt sugar, ooey gooey caramel, almost like a sundae topping. The maple is really strong. It straight up smells like a dark maple syrup. I almost get like a little tinge of what feels like molasses in here, but I think it's just that maple syrup note. And then the blondie is an interesting, it's definitely bakery. Yeah, I mean, it smells like a Blondie bar. It feels, the bakery part of it feels a little artificial to me. I'm hoping that evolves on warm. There's almost something so sharp in here that it reads medicinal, and I think that's the way that the maple syrup is playing with the caramel. It's not necessarily bad, it just smells very syrupy. Almost like, you know, if you were taking liquid medicine. So, we'll see about this one. You've got the blondie on the front, which from my understanding is basically like a brownie without cocoa in it, or like a chocolate chip cookie without the chocolate chips in it. I don't know if I've ever actually made blondies before. And then you've got whipped cream on the top there. Is that a pecan? Some sort of nut there on the front, even though there's not a nut flavor in here. And then the wax is just this kind of like creamy off-white, same lid and same wicks. If I were to rank these on cold, the first two are obvious to me. The second two I am a little bit torn on. I think I'm going to do the drizzled blondie, caramel drizzled blondie in last place, just because this feels very, very sweet and it might be too much for me, but it's still super gourmandy, delicious fragrance. Number 3, just because I'm not always a fan of peaches, is the peaches and cream cake. Also, I'm craving more of a cake note on this one. Number 2 is strawberry jam pie. I like the freshness of this one. The strawberry feels just a little bit muted, and I'm craving a little bit more of a crust note, so that's why that's in second. And number 1, no question, big surprise, I love blueberry, I love lemon, is the blueberry lemon bundt cake. This is just delicious. Nice and bright from the citrus, a little bit juicy from the blueberry, and you actually get that buttery cake note in here, which is divine. I want to eat all of these. I'm going to go fire these up, take copious notes, take some burn footage, and I'll be right back after the cut to share with you my findings. I cannot wait. Alright y'all, I am back to give you my notes and insights into the cake shop collection. Also, just in case you hear it, I am joined by my mom's fourth cat. She's a little camera shy, so I'm just going to pan over here. There she is. She came up here. She doesn't usually come into the room while I'm recording. She comes up in here at night and she'll sleep with me, but she doesn't usually come up when I'm recording. But she's here today and she's purring, so if you hear, that's what's going on. She's the fourth one of the litter. Apparently, they're moms, so all four cats are related. One winter, this was like 8 years ago, just snuck into the house when my parents had opened their slider door, and she went right to the living room and gave birth under the coffee table. So from there on, my mom was like, well, these are my cats now. So they're all from the same litter. You've met them all now if you've been watching my videos for the last few weeks. So that's the last one. That's Punky. She's sassy. She's a sassy girl, so her name works out well. Now, these candles. I just don't know about these candles, y'all. I'm going to rank them, but honestly, I don't know that I would highly recommend any of them. So the number one, I'm giving to number one just because I feel like I always rank and I kind of need to, but these were difficult to put into order because two of them, in my opinion, have very serious strength throw issues, and those are probably the two fragrances I like best. And the other two, I'm not too crazy about the fragrance, but they have decent strength and throw. Oh, which just makes it so complicated. So in fourth place, which I love the fragrance on cold, but because of the strength throw issues, is Strawberry Jam Pie. I get almost no fragrance on this one at all when lit. I even stood over it and kind of did like one of these, and I got a hint of what feels more like a strawberry gummy bear or like some sort of strawberry ring, something more chewy and sugary, not cloyingly jammy like I would expect a strawberry jam pie to smell. The strawberry note feels very muted, almost like what you would get from macerated strawberries that weren't quite ripe enough. That's the best comparison I have. So overall, the smell was not that great. The pastry note is also very subtle, and even when you can detect it, it almost smells too dark, like a burnt pastry versus, and it's not super burnt. I'm not getting like char, but like darkly toasted pastry pie crust. Like you left it in the oven for a few minutes too long. So overall, just in general, the scent on warm is not that great, but then add that to the problem of it not having good strength and not being able to throw, and this candle can't rank higher than number 4. I thought maybe it was a first burn issue, so I did burn it a second time. It did not change. It is possible that on the third burn it will finally come to life, but somehow I have my doubts. So this one could be really great if it smelled like it does on cold and if it actually had any strength and throw. In third place, and this is only because I'm not crazy about the fragrance, this actually had decent strength and throw, is Peaches and Cream. This is a very peachy creamy candle. It is as advertised. You get a peach note, which to me is pretty bright for what I would expect out of a cake note. It ends up smelling quite a bit like the Goose Creek's peach rings on warm, but don't get confused. It is not the powerhouse that peach rings from Goose Creek is, but it's that same edge. You get like this really sharp peach vibe, and then it's sugary, but then this cream note comes in and kind of just softens everything up and warms it up a little bit. I do get a slight cake note in this one, but for me, this almost just smells like peaches and cream. Like you got some whipped cream, you didn't make it too sweet, didn't add too much vanilla, and you put it on some pretty tart, maybe a little bit underripe peaches. I did like this one a second time as well. Not on purpose, it was on accident. These two look a lot alike when you're looking at them from the top, right? This is the peach and the strawberry. And I grabbed the peach one and lit it a second time, thinking it was the strawberry one that I was going to light a second time, and was like, why does this smell like peaches? And I realized I'd lit the wrong one. So I did burn this one a second time, and it was consistent in terms of strength and throw. I would put it at a medium strength. Again, not a powerhouse like peach rings, but enough strength where you're going to get its presence in the room, and it did fill out the space. Number 2, I wanted to love so much. This was going to be number 1, hands down. However, this one also really struggled with a couple of issues. This is the blueberry lemon bundt cake. Issue number 1, I absolutely get no blueberry in this. None. I don't get any blueberry in this candle at all. All I get is cake, icing, and a little bit of lemon. The cake note in this is beautiful. It smells like a vanilla cake. It smells moist. It smells very vanilla. It has this like creamy element that makes me think of icing, which might be coming from that lemon drizzle. And then I get just a hint of lemon. And the lemon that's in here is very juicy, a little bit bright. It's not zesty, but it's definitely a juicy lemon note. But absolutely no blueberry. I think maybe I got a slight whiff of it when I was really kind of hovering over it and trying to get more in my nose. And that's the other issue with this one, is that this also was very low strength. Almost undetectable unless you were sitting right next to it. And I couldn't smell it across the room, so it didn't have throw either. It wasn't elusive, it just didn't throw, and it didn't have strength. I ended up, because I wanted this, I wanted blueberry and lemon, just burning. You won't be able to necessarily see in the background here, but I have the blueberry cake donut from Goose Creek with the sugared lemonade from Bath & Body Works going. And let me tell you, that is the combo I thought that this was going to be. So this is a dud. I hope it's just mine, but if it's not, just know this does not deliver blueberry and it does not have very good strength. If you want a blueberry lemon combo that works, get the Goose Creek blueberry cake donut and pair it with Bath & Body Works sugared lemonade. And number 1, which I do like, I don't have too many complaints about this one, is the caramel drizzled Blondie. I just don't really necessarily like giving it number 1 because this isn't really usually a candle I would gravitate towards. There's also just something that's a little bit weird or artificial about the way these fragrances combine. Okay, Red has joined the party now. He wanted in. But there's just something weird about when these fragrances combine. I swear I'm getting like a Vaseline vibe from it. That could be the soy wax that's in here, but it also could be the way the maple is playing off of the caramel note that's playing off the Blondie note. Let me see, what else do I have in my notes here? Yeah, caramel is gooey with what feels like a baked note. I get mostly Blondie scent. This is a very sweet candle, although I would say not as sweet as what you might expect from a caramelized Blondie candle. And the maple that's in here really gets masked by the caramel. All I get is caramel first with just like this hint of maple, which almost reads more like a brown sugar coming from like a dark caramelized sugar. It's good. Strength was good. Throw was good. It filled the space. I wouldn't say it was a powerhouse, which you might expect from a caramel candle. But again, it's just not really, it's just not my thing. Also, I'm noticing, I think this is just cracked wax in here because there's no texture. But the wax did something really funky after the first burn. And it's got like a crack that runs almost all the way through it. So, I don't know what happened there or why that occurred. I don't think it will affect the burn, but something kind of wonky going on with the wax on this one, which maybe that's why it smells like Vaseline. I don't know. What's my impression overall in this collection? You don't need any of these. I feel like this is another one where I'm like, I hope I'm saving you money by telling you not to bother. I will say, you know, if you are looking for a lower fragranced, summer fruity sweet candle, all of these would suffice. But for me, if I'm going to buy a candle, I want it to have good strength and throw, and I want it to have the scents that are advertised on it. So if I knew then what I know now, I wouldn't have picked any of these up. If I had to choose one, again, it would be the caramelized Blondie, just because it feels like it's fully functional and mostly smells like what it is supposed to. So if you have FOMO about these, don't. If you want better blueberry ones, Goose Creek has them. I would recommend blueberry cheesecake. I would recommend the blueberry cake donut, the blueberry cobbler, the skillet one that just came out in the Wilderness collection. If you're looking for a good strawberry, I would go with the, was it rain-drenched strawberry instead of this one. And if you want a good summer peach, I would pick up the peach rings and not this one. So there are other options is what I'm trying to tell you. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about any of these. If you've dug into your cake collection and have any feedback, I'd love to have you contribute that here as well, especially if it contradicts mine, because my insight is one person's and that's only meaningful for so far. If you've had other experiences, that kind of clues me in as to whether or not these are just duds or if this is a collection issue and more people are going to have the same problem. So leave those comments below. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video, and if you feel inclined, super thanks are always appreciated but never required. Make sure you're subscribed before you take off, and feel free to share any of my videos with someone who you might think would also enjoy them. I will see you again tomorrow with my Bath & Body Works Saturday Ritual haul. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.